G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got some bald cypress or swamp cypress on the table. These are very early in their developmental life as far as bonsai goes. The smallest one in the middle, I actually bought it from a bonsai nursery quite a while ago, probably 2 years ago. It had a trunk chop already, which is almost healed up. And I've trunk chopped it again. I probably need to select a new leader today and see if any of these branches are worth keeping down the bottom. It's probably going to be a smaller size tree. This one and the big one on the other side were both bought as saplings at the same time. The other one, the far one, is considerably bigger than this because I've kept it in water the entire time that I've had it. And I'm going to leave that one. They've both been trunk chopped, as you can see. The other one's been done as well. Selected a new leader and let them go. I'm probably not going to let this one go too much longer, and I'll start trying to turn it into a tree, which will mean selecting branches and the same stuff we do to all our other trees. The other one, I'd like it to get probably 4 or 5 inches across on the base, just so I can turn one into like a nice impressive sized tree. So that might be another year or so before it's big enough to do much with. This one here, I do have a nice branch here already, which is cool, but I probably need to start cutting it back so that we can put a bit of movement into it and so that it doesn't get too thick too quick. We can always grow them out later on and thicken them up if we don't feel they're thick enough. If it gets too thick for the tree and out of proportion for the tree, you can't make it thinner. So I think we want to just trim it right back. Well, not right back. I probably won't go as hard on these as I do on my natives because I don't really know yet how they respond. I may not even want that as my first branch, but I'm going to just shorten it back for now. Take a few of these lower ones off. Leave that one as well. That one's too far on the front of the tree. We could use this as a back branch if we decided to make the front on the other side, but I won't really know which side will be the front until I go to pot this up and have a dig around the roots and see what it looks like under the soil level. At the moment, the sides are much of a muchness, but I will want a branch coming out of here somewhere, which I don't really have at the moment. So I might cut some of these back to allow a bit more light in. I have noticed when you open them up, they do backbud pretty well. Just take a couple of them right off actually, open it right up. And all this top stuff, we'll leave it grow because we want to thicken this next part of the trunk up to 1/2 to 3/4 the thickness of this. And that'll just help to heal that up and just to get that nice taper into the trunk. I'd like to do one of these as a sort of a formal upright, but I just don't know if the trunks will end up straight enough for that, to be honest. But anyway, that's all we'll do to that one. I probably do need to get in and pot these into bigger pots at some point. They're pretty tight in their pots, but I do keep them in trays of water. That's why you'll see the roots are all escaping out the bottom of the pot. So I don't know that it's critical to put them in a new pot. If anybody grows bald cypress, swamp cypress, do you keep them with room in their pots, or do you not care if you grow them in water? Because they've got a fair bit of root run outside the pot anyway. Yeah, I don't know what's best. This other big one, like, it's tight in that pot, but it's putting on really good growth, sitting in a tray full of water. So I'm tempted to just leave them as they are and just keep the water up to them. If any of them would make a nice formal upright, it's probably this one, but it's still not gonna have a perfectly straight trunk. It's not too bad. It's healing up that scar really well. And again, it's a bit hard to pick a front. Well, I reckon if you came in from this sort of angle as the front, there's just a little bit of movement just to give it a bit of interest. No scars. And we could relatively easily clean up all this small growth off the front. So we can better see what we're looking at. Probably won't want that, a little bit low. Could probably use one of these as the first branch maybe. Keep this one as a second branch. But again, this one should be the thickest branch, being the lowest branch, but it's not. So you'd have to trim this one back and try and slow it down a bit. Let this one run to try and thicken up. We might go with that. Cut that off. But prune it right back. Still got growth on that branch. And we can even use one of these to introduce a bit of movement. Keep that as a back branch, but I don't know. Probably not at this stage. We'll keep something up a little bit higher. Probably wire this one around just a little bit. Should I wire that down while it's young? Maybe. Could probably leave this one as a branch too. And then choose one up a little bit higher. Maybe this one for the next branch above that. This junction here, where I trunk chopped it, needs a bit of work. It's a bit untidy looking to me. So if we're going to keep that branch and that branch, that one will go. Currently this one's the new leader. That one's probably in a better position to be the new leader and not take too much away from the trunk shape. So if I just tidy this up a little, I reckon cut that off. I'll leave a little bit of a scar for now. But that is more in line with the trunk. If we're going to go for like a formal upright type tree, we don't want too much of a deviation in that trunk. We want that nice straight, everything perfect sort of. That's the idea of the formal upright. It's formal. It's everything should be in its place. It's even that little bit of movement. I don't know how that's going to look in the end, but we will see. That one on the back can come off. So we have first branch, second branch, third branch. We will need a back branch there somewhere, which I'm confident that we can get. No problem. That one could be a back branch. That one's your fourth side branch. And then we work on, that'll be the new leader for a little while. I will cut that back, but I will keep that one just in case we do want that as a back branch. And I'll try and keep a shoot somewhere just here for the first back branch. Might leave them for now. I won't get too carried away because I may prune them back once they get a bit more thickness and just put a little bit of movement in those branches. I don't know if that's really... Yeah, no, I think I'll do that. I'll just leave them as they are. Concentrate on letting that one go as the new leader. And yeah, that one's on its way to being some sort of a formal upright. The other two will be a lot more informal. This one here is humongous. I don't even know how much of that you'll be able to see on the camera. It's ridiculous. But it's probably, I don't know, it'll be 3.5, 4 inches across at the base. Seems to love our climate, obviously. I do want to let this thicken up just a little bit more yet to catch up with the rest of the trunk. So I won't do too much to it today. Just sort of wanted to show everybody what it looks like. I don't know if I can lean it forward. It's probably a recipe for disaster. Yeah, but that's the trunk. Nice thick trunk. Well, it looks like even the phone's had enough of this bloody heat for today. Yeah, so the phone doesn't even want to record in this heat. So it's cut off half the video. Anyway, all I was saying, that's just the 3 Bald Cypress that I've got on the go. I've got that one that I want to turn into a sort of a formalish upright. These ones, other 2 will just be informal uprights. Just going to let them grow, especially this one. I want it to thicken up a fair bit more yet. I want that nice, big, impressive tree. Yeah, I will probably end up cutting it back to about here when the time comes and choose a new leader out this side somewhere and let it run again. So they'll just get fertilizer now back into their water trays to continue growing. I might even try and find a bit deeper water tray for the other one because I know keeping them wet gives you really good growth. So yeah, that's my Bald Cypress. Thanks for watching and catch you on the next one.